that's pretty good for the first time. Let's try it again. Good evening. How's everybody doing this evening? Yes. I love this room. What a great crowd. Welcome to our 2019 Missouri Western Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I can't think of a better way to get the evening started than turn your attention to the video screens. Let's get this night underway.
Seems like 1,000 years ago. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed.
We'll have challenges, but you gotta force change. You gotta force yourself to change.
And sometimes the best that we can do
It's the hardest fight in your life.
is to start over.
The hardest fight in your life is forcing yourself to change, to not accept what is, but to change for the better and fight every day.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Griffin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Brett Easley. I'm Senior Associate Athletics Director for External Relations here at Missouri Western State University, and I am honored to be the MC of the 2019 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And on behalf of Griffin Athletics and our Hall of Fame committee here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening on this special occasion tonight as we honor the Hall of Fame class 2019, Reggie and Jarrett and Tracy and Jessica, Tara, Michael, Kara, and the 1994-95 Griffin men's basketball team. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started this evening, I'd like to recognize our Missouri Western Hall of Fame weekend title sponsor, Rogers Pharmacy. Ladies and gentlemen, as we announced on August 14th earlier this year, Rogers Pharmacy, the Missouri Western Hall of Fame title sponsor for the past 2 years, enhanced their partnership with Griffin Athletics as they pledged to fund a major gift. The gift will be used to create a dedicated physical space to forever honor Griffin Athletic greats in our Hall of Fame room inside Spratt Memorial Stadium. If you're at a reception, hopefully you saw the renderings. The renderings are also on the back inside cover of your program here this evening. We thank the Rogers family, and we also would like to, at this time, welcome to the podium to give the official welcome this evening, the Director of Marketing and PR for Rogers Pharmacy, and a very good friend of mine. Pam Brock, come on up here and welcome us this evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the 2019 Griffin Athletics Hall of Fame Banquet. Thank you so much to Josh Looney, Brett Easley, and the entire athletic staff and faculty that have welcomed Rogers Pharmacy family into this fine university. It is truly an honor to be with you tonight and celebrate with the honorees being inducted into Missouri Western State University Hall of Fame. It has been our pleasure to be the title sponsor for the weekend activities, and we look forward to the new sponsorship agreements with Missouri Western State University Athletics. As our founder, Mel Rogers, likes to say, anything worth doing right is worth doing. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. We believe this saying embodies what our company is all about, and that Missouri Western State University athletes share this belief also. Tonight, we honor those who, in their athletic endeavors at Missouri Western, did things right. Thank you for being here tonight and celebrating this fantastic accomplishment.
Give it up for Pam Brock, ladies and gentlemen, and all the good folks at Rogers Pharmacy. We could not do this outstanding event without your support. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the front inside cover of your Hall of Fame program. I would like to take a moment to say thank you to the 10 corporate sponsors who purchased tables to the event. You'll find them listed on the inside front cover of your program. The financial support of all of our partners is what allows us to provide a first-class event for our inductees each year. Give them a round of applause, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it's my pleasure. Behind all great departments are great leaders, and we've got one here at Missouri Western State University. At this time, please welcome to the podium. It says it's 7:03, and it is prompt at 7:03. Please welcome the Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Josh Looney, to the podium. Josh.
Android time said 7:02, so like always, Brett under-promises and over-delivers, so good job, Brett. Welcome back to Missouri Western, everyone, and to our Hall of Fame class. It's my pleasure and honor to be able to kick off tonight's event and introduce our Hall of Fame class to you. But before we do so, just want to share how awesome of an evening this is. So inherently, everything in athletics is looking forward about what's next. Our coaches, who's the next recruit, who's the next opponent, how do we get better, how do we keep moving forward, what's next. So we inherently don't get to look back, and this is a night and a weekend where we gladly look back, but more importantly, it's looking back on the best that we've had, the pillars, the foundation, and quite honestly, bringing in people like the ones that are up here, so we can continue to make this institution proud. So it's an incredible evening for us. It's something that we really enjoy to step back and look. And so with that, to prove that, I want to introduce our coaching staff that's here. If you're a head coach, assistant coach, graduate assistant, please stand very quickly for our staff. We have a lot of coaches across all sports. Our coaching staff is here. Thank you. We're always learning, and we hope to learn and be able to get better from the stories here this evening. I also want to introduce a few other people that are important to our university and are here to celebrate the night. We have a host of vice presidents that came this evening. Maybe hold your applause to the end for this group. But if you'll stand up, our vice president for finance administration, Dale Morrison is here. Sarah Cravens, our chief of staff, is here as well. Shannon Meyer, vice president for student affairs, is here. Todd Simpson, our vice president for advancement, is here as well, and others. Zach Workman, the president of our Gold Coat board, is here also. So thank you for sharing in this incredible evening with us. With that, I have the pleasure of introducing who we're all here to celebrate this evening. And so with that, to my far left and to your right, this head table, we'll start. Tracy Jones is here with us, Hall of Fame inductee Tracy Jones. You don't have to hold your applause for this group. Ms. Patsy Smith and Mr. Tom Smith are here on behalf of the basketball program and the women's tennis program, what they've done here as well. Mr. Reggie Alexander and his wife, Shanita Alexander, are here as well. Michael Schultz and Raylene Cease are here. Seated to my right and your left, Jarrett Brooks and Jackie Brooks. And before I give the antidote, I was only going to say Jarrett and I played football against one another. I played in this league, and we were sharing some stories earlier. And most of them were me chasing him from about 30 yards behind as he flew. So it was great to share those memories, Jarrett. Thank you about that. Ms. Tara Roth is here with us. Jessica Cook Williams and her husband, Nick Williams. Kira Ungar-Wazaki and her husband, Mitch Wazaki, as well. I do want to give a shout out to our softball student athletes. They are here and they will help us as we end up eating our food this evening. But with that, I also want to introduce one more individual. I talk about moving forward and looking back. And I'll start it with hashtag Where's Prez Wilson? Well, he's right here. And if you don't know what that is, go on Twitter and literally enter that hashtag and you will find out where he's been since he's been here. President Matthew Wilson's our 5th president. He's been here just over 100 days. And we are moving forward very quickly. If you followed the news and you've been around Missouri Western, 3 major initiatives that are unlike any kind for institutions of higher education, much less in this area, have already been launched, and there's plenty more to come. And so I'd love to introduce our 5th president, Missouri Western, President Matthew Wilson.
So good evening, and I do have to say it took me a little bit to get here because I was on the tennis court and I actually was winning today, playing with one of our donors, and but I knew that there was something better that was waiting. And really what it is it's a room full of champions. As you have been introduced to our coaches and our coaching staff, as you have met some of the leaders of the university, as you see these wonderful folks that are here, this is what we have before you is the heart of champions. And I was thinking as I was chasing some balls this afternoon, what is that heart of a champion? And really what it is it's someone who may not be the best, may not be the brightest, may not be the most gifted, but someone who has the will to win. The will to never give up, the will to practice in the wind, the rain, to overcome adversity, and to really go out and make a difference. And so today, as we have this Hall of Fame ceremony, I am truly honored and humbled to be among champions. And I believe each one of you in this room is truly a champion. Now, as president, that's what I'm out here to do, is I'm out here to champion the university. And this is a great university. It's a university that gives individuals chances. It's a university that elevates and uplifts, and it's something that really we can all draw upon for strength, for guidance, and hopefully for light. Now, hopefully you've heard about some of our initiatives that we're rolling out. We've done some really cool things that haven't been seen in this area, because we're willing to take that shot. I tell my boys all the time, never leave the court regretting that you didn't take that shot. So that's what we're doing here. We're taking the shot and we're doing some cool things. We've got a brand new scholarship program that is not only guaranteed, but our scholarships do automatic upgrades every year. Why? We want our students to get those degrees and be champions. We've announced a Center for Service. This is something that we believe can transform this community. Why? If a student goes out and they do 40 hours of community service, it's been validated by our new center that we're going to roll out, we're going to give that student 1 credit towards their degree at no cost. If they do 80 hours of community service, we'll give them 2. If they do 120 hours of community service, we will give them 3 hours towards their degree. Why? We want students to be champions of this university, this community, this region, and this state. You may have seen what we rolled out this last Tuesday, which was a new program called Gold Fridays. Our Gold Fridays, we're taking 5-day calendar and we're compacting it into 4. Why? Well, we're going to enable our students to be champions on that Friday. They'll be able to go out, do internships, externships, community service. They'll be able to meet with their professors. I was talking with one of our baseball coaches today. He said it's great. Our students can do study hall in the morning and they can practice with us all Friday afternoon. If there's any baseball players, there's nothing any better than that. Our athletes, as they travel, they don't have to worry about missing classes on Friday. They can focus on the class the Monday through Thursday, and they can focus on competition on Friday and beyond. We're so excited about that, and there is more to come. The question is, going forward with quality, going forward with excellence, and you'll see stuff coming out on the global scale. You'll see stuff coming out involving gaming and esports. You may even see another sport pop up. We'll have to see. But here at Missouri Western, we are committed to excellence. We are committed to champions, and we really do appreciate each one of you. Now, I've been told that I'm on a tight schedule too. Otherwise, I would be between you and dinner. But I would be remiss if I didn't say two words as I end. Do you know what those words are? Go Griffs.
Well, thank you, President Wilson. And Buzz, don't get any ideas. I know our compliance officer's here, but 10-hour practices are not allowed in the NCAA. Missouri Western's Hall of Fame currently consists of 106 individuals, 1 corporate partner, and 11 teams. I ask at this time, will all current members of the Hall of Fame who are in the audience and with us tonight to please rise and go form a single file line against the wall on your left, my right, and meet Brett in the front corner of this room. So all current Hall of Famers that are with us, please feel free to come up and meet Brett. He's right over here. Let's give them a round of applause.
Don't be shy. Once a Hall of Famer, always a Hall of Famer.
As they line
When
up,
I announce your name, please walk across the stage to be recognized. I can't think of a better way to start this off. Give it up for the class of 2016 for Griffin Women's Basketball. Say hello to Joe Brock, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry Myers, you're next in line the way I look at it. Class of 2001, say hello to Mr. Jerry Myers, ladies and gentlemen. They are from the Hilliard Companies. Come on up, JR and Bob Roth, right across the stage. From the class of 2017, started her career as our tennis coach, ended as our senior associate athletics director and senior women administrator. Say hello to Patsy Smith, ladies and gentlemen. From one of our inaugural classes, say hello to Griffin tight end, Mr. Zach Workman, ladies and gentlemen. He is a Hall of Fame coach. Come on up here, Mr. Sanders, right across the stage. He is from the Hall of Fame class of 2009, Mr. Carl Butcher, ladies and gentlemen. Also a tackle on the football team, as he just reminded me. And those stairs have never been better, Carl. But ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, I'm glad this individual is here in the room tonight. I've taken a lot of car rides with this guy. He's got his Code Red Mountain Dew and his black pepper sunflower seeds. Hall of Fame broadcaster, Mr. Bob Orff. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up. Hall of Fame class 2009. Athletic trainer, Mr. Marvin Unziker. Ladies and gentlemen, he was inducted into our Hall of Fame as an individual in 2006. His 1989-90 men's basketball team is in the Hall of Fame, and tonight we celebrate the 1994-95 men's basketball team. He's the all-time leader in wins here at Missouri Western, and his on our basketball courts bears his name, head coach Tom Smith. Coach Smith. And ladies and gentlemen, I think only fitting last, but certainly not least, he is a member of the Hall of Fame class of 2005. He is a member of the Griffin football team 1975, and he is our Hall of Fame committee chairman, who not only does a lot of work for the Hall of Fame, but a number of things, including our 50 seasons of Griffin football that we've celebrated this year. Give it up for Mr. Scott Graham, ladies and gentlemen. Now a big round of applause for our Griffin Hall of Famers that are here with us this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll also, quickly, as we're heading to our seats and sitting in just a second, we'll go ahead and observe a moment of silence for all deceased members of the Hall of Fame as well. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the members of the Missouri Western Hall of Fame. One more round of applause. Dr. Jimmy Albright is with us this evening as well. Jimmy, would you please come forward now and offer our invocation?
I have come to these events for years. I watched everybody get awards. I never got an award. I never did anything that was worthwhile. I got my doctor's degree, but that was luck in some ways. I couldn't graduate from college. Some of those I saw graduated magna cum laude, summa cum laude. I graduated, thank you, Lordy. Just glad to get out. But when I moved to this city, this university where I started teaching archaeology, and still am, was a university that opened doors for me in unimaginable fields of travel, taking groups, excavating in Israel. And the first year that I was here, somebody challenged me in a banquet like this to start being athletic. I'd never run in my life. No, I take that back. I ran from the cops for years, but I'd never run in an event. Now, this many years later, I've done 23 marathons. And I will tell you, I've got my own medals. You don't have to give me anything, okay? I've got Rock and Roll Marathon in Phoenix. I've got Disney World Marathon in Orlando. I've got 4 Boston Marathons for the 4 that I ran there. And my car outside, 370Z, has a license plate that says I ran 26. I taught Middle East politics here for several years. Came out of class one day, students had put a note underneath my windshield, said I ran 26, Iraq 37. Started misunderstanding what I was trying to say. I've been blessed, you have been blessed. But if all you honor is the innovativeness, creativity, and power of these young people that excel in what they do and don't get up off your duff and start taking care of yourself, you're missing the point of why we're awarding these to them. It is a challenge. I didn't run my first mile till I was 37 years old. And I want to tell you, every one of you sitting out there could be a champion if you get up and start trying at some level. Let's pray. Father, thank you that you've created us so unique. All of us are different. We go at life in a different way. We share a lot of qualities, and yet, Father, we all have our own distinctiveness in what we can do and what we can accomplish. We look across this stage at people that have been involved in athletics in multiple different kinds of ways, and they have excelled, and they have committed themselves to being the best that they can be. That's why we're honoring them. But God, may you help us through their inspiration, through the stories they tell, the pictures we see on the screen, and the things that we know about them, to realize that any of us, regardless of our age, can do a whole lot more than we're doing now. Thank you for the challenge of life. Thank you that you tell us until the day we die, don't ever stop growing. And God, may you honor these athletes here. May you honor this organization that stands behind them. May you honor this university that gives them an opportunity to excel in their chosen field. Thank you for being so good. We pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, and now I have instructions that I will try to get through on how we're going to do this with the large group. And since everybody's looking at me, I will also say we have 2 tickets that dropped, and it's not a raffle. We're not going to call a winner. It actually belongs probably to one of the members of our men's basketball team that is going tonight. So if you look at dinner and you're short 2 tickets that fell out of an envelope at the reception, I've got them for you. And if you're not part of that basketball team, I know you're lying, and you need to pay for your tickets tomorrow at the gate. So this is how we're going to do it. We'll ask our head table to go first, of course, followed by our first row. If you are seated at tables 1 through 3, that is 1, 2, or 3, you are going to the back and to the right buffet lines. If you're at tables 4 through 6, that's 4, 5, and 6, you are going to the left. If you're not any of those people, head table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you are going to sit and wait. And our softball team will come and let you know when it goes through. So with that, I'll turn it over and let's eat. Well, it doesn't say. I'm going to say it's, if your table 1 was 1, there you're going to that way, and the 4, 5, 6 going that way. So how's that sound? But our head table's going first, so there we go. You guys pick whichever one you want, you know?
So I got to tell you, that was a Brett Easley dinner all the way, folks. A lot of meat, a lot of starch, a lot of gravy, a lot of dressing, and a lot of dessert that you could spill all over your tie and get away with it. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you're in line at the dessert table, don't panic. Get your desserts. But we're going to start our program here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here this evening to pay tribute to 7 former Griffin superstars. 1 Griffin football player, 1 Griffin softball player, 1 Griffin women's golfer, 1 Griffin women's basketball player, 1 Griffin men's basketball player, 1 Griffin men's baseball player, and 1 Griffin women's tennis player, and 1 men's basketball team with their induction into the Missouri Western Athletics Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, our Hall of Fame was established in 1986 to recognize outstanding achievement by Missouri Western State University alumni, faculty, staff, and their meritorious service in the areas of athletic achievement, coaching, or the noteworthy accomplishments in athletic-related areas. A 5-year waiting period is required for alumni selection. The award may be presented posthumously to alumni, faculty, and staff, or for meritorious service. The selection should be made on the overall career of any individual. However, it may on occasion be based on a single accomplishment. Hall of Fame recipients will be present during the banquet each year, and a living and able honoree is expected to be present to receive the award. Honorees will be given additional time to be present. And ladies and gentlemen, before we go into our induction class, I've got to tell you, everybody always comes up to me and says, "You have a great induction class this year." Well, I would say that is absolutely true, but our induction classes are great every year because this is a Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame signify excellence. They signify the best of your craft. They signify the willingness to go the extra mile, to show up early, to stay late, to be a leader, to look adversity in the face, because it's not all roses, folks. We know that. And these men and women up on this stage, I am proud to tell you, in my 20 years here at Missouri Western, I either know them well, I watch them all compete, some of them have watched my kids, and I consider them all friends, and I cannot wait to induct them into our Hall of Fame here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee tonight played just 2 years of basketball for Hall of Fame coach Tom Smith, but quickly established himself as a dominating inside player during his tenure. Reggie Alexander was a standout forward on the Griffin 1999, 2000, and 2000-2001 basketball teams. The two basketball teams Alexander led went 20-9 and 18-9 as Reggie contributed to 38 wins in his pair of seasons with the Griffins. Reggie's offensive consistency is represented in single-season marks that are still among the best ever for Missouri Western men. His 184 made field goals still rank 5th all-time in a single season. Alexander could score the three ball with accuracy as his 44% three-point shooting mark is 9th best in Missouri Western history. Reggie set a single-season scoring record with 458 points in 99-2000. That has since been eclipsed, but still good for 11th on the all-time list today. Alexander was a fearsome defender who opposing teams had to game plan for. Reggie blocked 50 shots in that 99-2000 season. That's 2 blocks per game and still ranks number 1 on the all-time list for the Griffs. Reggie made a living cleaning up the glass, pulling down 200 rebounds on the season, or 7 per game in 99-2000. Those tools are still good for 8th and 9th all-time respectively. Reggie was recognized both years for his Missouri Western career. His first year as a Griffin, he was named a second-team All-MIAA player. In the following year, he was a first-team All-MIAA selection as selected by our conference coaches. Following the 2000-2001 season, Alexander's performance was also recognized by 2 different bodies, being named an NABC second-team All-South Central Region player and a first-team All-South Central Region forward by Daktronics. Reggie earned a degree in 2006 in criminal justice from Missouri Western and currently works for global package delivery giant UPS. Today, Reggie is married to Shanetta Franklin. They've been married for 3 weeks. I asked, is this your honeymoon? He said part of it. Still on the honeymoon stage. Yes. And they are kept very busy on the home front, no less, raising 2 sons, Robert and Dominic. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming 2019 Hall of Fame member, Mr. Reggie Alexander. And before you come up here, I almost forgot again, but I didn't. I would tell all of our Hall of Fame inductees, your first move before you come to the podium should be on this beautiful stage with the lovely greenery so we can get a photo before your speech. I almost forgot again, but I didn't. Never a doubt, right, Scott? Reggie Alexander, ladies and gentlemen.
How y'all doing? I didn't break a speech. I just want to thank God. Thank Coach Smith for giving me an opportunity to play. My family came up from Mobile, Alabama. 14-hour drive. And yeah, I've been married 3 weeks, but I've been knowing my wife since we were 6th grade. So I want to thank everybody for coming out for me. I mean, this is such an honor to me. Like, I don't know what else to say. But I'm gonna always be a Griffin for life, and thank you again.
Congratulations, Reggie, on your selection in the Missouri Western Hall of Fame. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee was one of the key players that propelled Griffin baseball to a championship. Coach Buzz Verduzco's first MIAA title in 2013. In his 2-year career at Missouri Western, Michael Schultz became the most decorated student athlete in the history of the baseball program. Schultz came to the Griffins from Lee Summit West High School through Iowa Western Community College. As a sophomore at Missouri Western, he quickly established himself in the Griffin lineup. During his second season, he generated eye-popping offensive numbers. His 94 hits that season ranked number 1 for a Griffin, as does his .439 batting average, ladies and gentlemen. Getting on base, that often helped him with the number 2 ranking for runs scored in a season was 70. Although 2013 was a career year for Michael, over his 2 years as a Griffin, he went 161 for 403 at-bats for a 2-year career batting average of .400. That's a Hall of Fame number indeed. That mark put Schultz in the top spot for Missouri Western career batting average. With offensive numbers like that, Michael got the notice of opposing MIAA coaches who tabbed him with All-MIAA honorable mention recognition in 2012 and placement on the All-MIAA first team in 2013. As mentioned, Michael's 2013 season was a career year by any measure. In addition to being named All-MIAA first team, he earned first team All-Region honors from Daktronics, the American Baseball Coaches Association, and the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. No, folks, the honors didn't stop there, however, as those same three bodies each bestowed first team All-America honors on Michael. Michael gained national recognition for his accomplishments in 2013, receiving no less than 6 Player of the Year awards, beginning with MIAA Conference Player of the Year. Schultz was also named Player of the Year in the Central Region by Daktronics, the ABCA, and the NCBWA. His selection as National Player of the Year by both Daktronics and the NCBWA capped off his dream season for Michael. I'd call that a dream season indeed. Foregoing his senior season and entering the 2013 MLB draft, Schultz was selected by the St. Louis Cardinals in round 19. His first assignment in the Cardinals farm system was with the State College Spikes, the Cardinals Class A short season system affiliate in 2013. Michael then moved to the Cardinals Class A club, the Peoria Chiefs, playing in 105 games in 2014, and in 2015 he played for the Schaumburg Boomers of the Frontier League, concluding his professional baseball career. One of the lasting legacies of Michael's Missouri Western career is the fantastic season he and his teammates put together in 2013, winning the first MIAA Conference baseball title for Missouri Western. Excuse me. Yes, folks, that season was truly a team effort. Michael graduated from Missouri Western with degrees in business management and marketing. He used that education today in his position of logistics broker for eShipping, a transportation and logistics company with global scope. In the audience this evening are Michael's mom and dad, Mike and Connie, who supported his baseball aspirations from his earliest memories. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight it's my pleasure to present to you 2019 Hall of Fame member, Mr. Michael Schultz.
Brett just asked if I had my speech ready tonight, and I think I just thought about it on the car ride up. Growing up, I played pretty much all the sports every kid does: baseball, basketball, soccer for about 20 minutes. And baseball just seemed to stick. By the time I was 8, 9 years old, we were traveling to Vegas, Georgia, all across the country, and I kept sticking with baseball. And big thanks to my parents for every night my dad would get home and throw BP to me, hit me ground balls, and then my mom would have dinner on the table, ready to go for the next night. And I don't think I've ever really said thanks, but that means a lot. Nowadays, I work a typical 7 to 4 job, and I get home and I'm tired. I can't imagine going straight to BP and for 2 hours, and that really means a lot. I got here kind of weird. After my freshman year of junior college baseball, I went to Iowa Western. I was a part of a team that won a junior college national championship. And then right when the season was done, I said I was done playing baseball and I quit. And I moved back home and just went to school. And then a friend of mine, Spencer Shockley, was playing here at Missouri Western, and he said, why don't you come here and give this place a try? And I came up on a visit and talked to Buzz, and it's big thanks to him for believing in me, taking a year off from baseball and giving me the opportunity. And still to this day, I talk to Buzz and Tony Loeffler at least once or twice a month and keep in contact. And Nick Dorado in the back corner, he was a teammate of his for a year when I first got here. And really just the guys here made everything work, and close friendships. And still to this day, if somebody gets married and 20 guys are at the wedding. So this place is really special, and I was only here for 2 years. Another thing, I don't know if Becky or Blaze from the athletic training staff are here. I have to give a big shout out to them. When I was with the St. Louis Cardinals, I had wrist surgery, and they did all my rehab. Every day I worked with them, and just this place always welcomed me with open arms, and Buzz allowed us, once we were done playing here, to come back and train with the guys and just be around the team. And it's a true honor to be a Griff. And as always, go Griffs. I appreciate it.
Well done, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, 2019 Hall of Fame member, Mr. Michael Schultz. Congratulations, Michael, on your selection. Our next inductee gave record-setting coach Jen Trotter what any coach appreciates in their team's lineup, and that's versatility. Kara Unger-Rezonke contributed at a high level with the bat, in a circle, and the glove on 2 Griffin teams whose achievements helped launch Griffin softball into its current trajectory of consistent success. Offensively, Kara put together a season for the record books in 2005. Her 17 home runs and 58 runs scored are both program best for a single season. Also in 2005, she started 67 games and registered 144 total bases, with both accomplishments ranking second all-time for a single season. Unger's .720 slugging percentage and 73 hits are both marks that rank third on Griffin softball single season all-time bests. Unger left her name in the Missouri Western career record book as well, with the .609 slugging percentage during her time as a Griffin, ranking third all-time. Kara's 2-year, 23 home runs and 28 doubles ranked 9th and 11th all-time respectively. And in the circle, her 2 saves is tied for 6th on the all-time list. I mentioned versatility earlier, and these next career statistics dominate that as well. Kara was certainly reliable when called upon to pitch for the Griffins. While in the circle, Kara recorded a 2.64 ERA on the way to her 14-7 career record. Unger had a good 110 strikeouts to 39 walks ratio, and her efforts, most notably in 2005, along with those of all of her teammates, led to the first NCAA tournament appearance for Griffin softball. Opposing MWSU coaches rewarded the high-level play and versatility Unger brought to the Griffin lineup. She was named to the first team All-MWSU in 2005 as a utility player, and then again in 2006, but this time as an outfielder. Kara twice received NFCA All-North Central Region recognition. In both 2005 and 2006, Kara was named to the second team, and one unique thing about her honors is they were earned in 2005 as a utility player, and then in 2006 as an outfielder, again, demonstrative of her versatility. Unger embodied the true definition of student-athlete while at Missouri Western. In addition to earning academic All-MWSU honors in both 2005 and 2006, Kara was named ESPN Magazine COSIDA Academic All-District First Team in 2006. With postseason academic recognition like that, it is certainly no surprise, folks, that she graduated in 2006 with magna cum laude honors, earning her BS in Health and Exercise Science. Kara's career is well underway, using her Missouri Western degree working for the Berkshire Hathaway Home State Group. She is a senior health and wellness specialist for this group of 6 regional insurance carriers. Unger also gives back to her community by giving pitching lessons to young athletes in the Missouri Valley, Iowa area. The former Kara Unger became Kara Rezonke when she and Mitch, who is seated with her at the head table this evening, were married 10 years ago. They are proud parents of daughter Finley, age 7, and son Jet, age 5. That's a busy age, who certainly kept them on the run these days. Speaking of parents, Kara's mom, Cindy, and dad, Rod, are with us here in the audience this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you 2019 Hall of Fame inductee, Mrs. Kara Unger-Rezonke. Absolutely.
Okay, Brett said I was versatile, so I said I better not fall on my way up here. All right, bear with me here, I'm kind of nervous. I want to start by congratulating everybody else up here at the tables with me here tonight. And I'd also like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for considering and selecting me to be such a part of such an elite group of athletes. It's an honor to be standing here. So the game of softball has always been a huge part of my life. But when I really started to reflect on it, I realized there were many life lessons that this game taught me, both on and off the field. I could go on and on giving you guys examples of this, but I'm going to try not to bore you tonight. So I'm just going to give you a few examples that are important to me and kind of what mean the most to me as a Griffin. So lesson number 1, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. I'm sure you guys have heard that one. Softball is a game of failure. Think about it. If you're a 300 hitter, that means that 7 out of the 10 times that you were up to bat, you failed. Striking out and making errors are just part of the game. Fortunately for me, throughout my years of playing ball, I was surrounded by supportive parents and amazing coaches that taught me that it wasn't about the failure itself. It was about how I dealt with the failure. I learned from it, and then I had the self-confidence to believe that I wasn't going to do it again. I remember in the 2005 season, it was about mid-season, I was in a huge slump. And Coach Bagley sat me down, and she said, keep your head up, blah, 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 blah. And she ended it with, oh yeah, and yeah, I think you're about to break out of this slump, so you're going to hit leadoff the next game. And I did. I'd never hit leadoff in my life, let alone when I was in the middle of a slump. So I thought she was a little crazy. However, it turned out that her crazy confidence in me sparked my own confidence, because when I was up to bat for that first time as leadoff hitter, I hit it over the fence, and just like that, slump was over. So, just like in life, you can't let the fear of failure hold you back. It's part of every success. Lesson number 2, you can't steal second with your foot on first. Bet you heard that one too. Stepping out of your comfort zone can be tough, but it makes things happen. I didn't get very much playing time my first 2 seasons at a different university, and by the end of my sophomore year, I was ready to hang up my cleats and be done with the sport. Transferring schools and moving away from my family and friends to continue to play the sport just sounded frightening. But fortunately, with the support and encouragement from my parents, my select softball coach, Pat O'Donnell, and my now husband, Mitch, I did step out of my comfort zone, and I transferred to Mo West. The rest is history. If I hadn't taken that chance, I wouldn't be standing here. And just like in life, true progress very rarely happens without taking risks along the way. Another lesson, leadership is an action, not a position. Coach Bagley shared with me the other night that she believed that my leadership during the 2 years that I was here had a major impact on the program and its success. But I truly believe that in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower first. And that's exactly what I was. I followed her positivity, her confidence, and her competitiveness, which made it easy for me to take on that leadership role. So as much as I appreciated, or as much as she appreciated my role as a leader, in all reality, the credit goes to her. Coach Bagley, I hope you know how amazing you are. And if there was a Cara Hall of Fame, which there should be, you'd be the first one in it. So, like in life, being a good follower teaches you how to be an effective leader. The most important lesson the sports taught me is great things in life are never done by one person, they're done by a team of people. With that said, I want to give a shout out to my family and my forever team. I've been very blessed with supportive parents. The time, the money, the miles that these guys put on is just some of the ways they showed their support. But more than that, they were always there for me through the good and the bad. Mom and Dad, I hope you know how much that meant to me. And you continue to be there for me all the time. I can only hope and aspire to be that kind of support to my kiddos. Jet Finley, hi. Oh, lost my place. Here we go. None of my softball successes could have been possible without you guys. I was also lucky enough to have an older sister who wasn't too bad at softball herself. Krista. She's here tonight, guys. She's over there. Thank you for pushing me to be the better softball player of the family. I'm just kidding. It's a constant thing. We go back and forth. No, thank you for being a role model and an inspiration to me all the time. Finally, I've been blessed with an amazing and supportive husband. Mitch, I know my competitiveness and my intensity aren't always easy to deal with, but you continue to put up with me, and you've always been my rock and my biggest fan. So like life, it's not how good you are, it's how good your team is that leads you to your success. Again, thank you to Coach Bagley, Coach Lahotek, she's not here, Coach Hartenbauer, my teammates, and the university for giving me the opportunity to be a Griffin, and to the Hall of Fame committee for giving me the perfect end to my softball career. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear one more time. Kara Unger-Wazungi. Congratulations, Kara, on your selection to the Missouri Western Hall of Fame. Well, the next Griffin great we'll induct this evening is among those rare collegiate athletes talented enough to compete in two different sports. Tara Roth distinguished herself on the golf course and made a valuable contribution to the women's basketball team during her time as a Griffin. Roth's induction this evening makes her the first ever women's golfer in the Missouri Western Hall of Fame. Tara was a contributor on one of the best Missouri Western women's basketball teams in history. Those 2001-02 Lady Griffins captured both the MWSU regular season and postseason tournament titles on the way to a 27-3 overall season record. Roth represented Missouri Western's women's golf team for 2 seasons. Tara's name's prominent in the Missouri Western individual record books for her play in those seasons. She rose as high as number 36 in the national rankings in 2003 and 04, the second best all-time for a Griffin women's golfer. Roth's 4 tournament wins on the season in 03 and 04, and 3 wins on the season in 02-03, ranked second and third all-time respectively, and combined for 7 career tournament wins, which ranks Tara second all-time for career wins. Additionally, her 91% finish percentage in 03 and 04 is tied for third all-time. Tara's individual success in 03 and 04 helped lead to team success as she and her teammates put up a national rank of 40th and a national scoring rank of 43rd. Both are best for Missouri Western women's golf, ranking that 2003-04 team number 1. The Lady Griffins' .349 scoring average that year ranks 10th all-time. In addition to being a rare 2-sport athlete, Tara was a rare repeat winner of the Missouri Western Female Student Athlete of the Year Award. Roth earned the prestigious award for both the 02-03 and 03-04 academic years. In addition, she earned MWSU Commissioner's Academic Honor recognition for those same years. In 04, Tara was recognized by the National Golf Association as an All-American Scholar. Roth used the academic performance that gained those awards to earn her BA degree in Recreation Administration from Missouri Western in 2004. Later, while at Central Missouri, working under Missouri Western Hall of Fame coach Dave Slifer as a graduate assistant, Tara earned her master's degree in physical education and exercise sports science in 2006. Since leaving Missouri Western, in addition to her graduate assistant position at Central Missouri, Roth tried her hand coaching women's basketball with stints as an assistant coach at Lake Superior State University and Truman State University. However, seeking a different change, Tara is now regional operations manager for the Hilliard Companies. If Tara seems composed tonight, well, it may be because this is not her first trip to an awards podium. In addition to her back-to-back student athlete awards mentioned earlier, Roth was inducted into the St. Joseph Central High School Hall of Fame, class of 2016. Additionally, earlier this year, Tara was named a Win Award recipient by the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my sincere pleasure to introduce to you 2009 Missouri Western State University Hall of Fame inductee, Tara Roth.
Good evening. First, just want to thank the Hall of Fame committee, the athletic program, and the university. This is an incredible honor to be standing up here with these great athletes. I'm incredibly thankful that my journey landed me at Missouri Western. As a junior in high school, I was planning on attending UMKC to play golf. And something happened. I went, between my junior and my senior year, I went and played in a golf tournament in Columbia and came back, and I just realized I was burned out and I was done, just didn't want to do golf anymore. So I went to my parents and I said, I don't want to play golf. I want to see about playing Missouri basketball at Missouri Western. And without hesitation, my dad says, okay, let's do it. What do we got to do? And looking back at that moment, I honestly think they were nuts, because I was such a better golfer than I was a basketball player. But I can't tell you how thankful I am for that moment, because that is the moment that probably shaped my life into what it is today. What you learn as a college athlete, it can't be taught anywhere else. Teamwork, how to prioritize, patience, success, failure, compassion, responsibility. I could go on. When I first walked into the basketball practice, I quickly learned working hard was expected on and off the court, no questions asked. It didn't matter what your position was, we all had roles. And what made us successful is that we accepted those roles. Each and every one of us pushed each other to be a better player. I can remember telling Nicole Lindsay, who was a big-time basketball Missouri Western Hall of Fame member, she was coming out on a timeout, and I looked at her and I said, get your head out of your ass. And can I remind you that I was a walk-on? But seriously, our coaches created this culture that was driven by the players. We were a team, we were a family. We had so much respect for the coaches as they did us. And yes, we had choice words from time to time, but we believed in the cultures, the goals, and we believed in each other. So when the golf program started my junior year, I was lucky enough to be part of that. I wanted to build a culture that could drive success. I took everything that I learned from the basketball program and instilled it into the team. We weren't the most talented, but we had girls that wanted to work hard. It's really awesome to see the golf program, how it's grown, and it's now competing at the national level. Today, I'm extremely lucky to work at Hilliard for my family. I get to take everything that I learned as a college athlete and apply it to my job every day: teamwork, patience, success, failure, etc. You know, when you're a college athlete, you have no idea that the impact those years are going to have on your life. You're just playing golf, basketball, whatever sport you're in. You're going to school. You're having an awesome time with awesome people. Those years shape you. My career at Hilliard will be successful because being a college athlete prepared me for any challenge that is going to be put in front of me. In closing, if you're a parent of a college athlete, surround them by unbelievable coaches so you can love and support them. Just be mom and dad, because that's what they need and that's what they want. Push your child, but listen. And one day when they come to you with some crazy idea to play in college or not play in college because of a career path that they want, listen to them. I'm so thankful my parents did. Once again, thank you for this unbelievable honor. It's truly amazing.
Well done, Tara. Congratulations on your selection to the Missouri Western Hall of Fame. Well, JB, I think I said you were batting cleanup, but I lied. But you know what? It's your turn right now, my friend. Our next inductee this evening, Throw Griffin football fans from 2003 to 2006, with his circus catches on offense and electric kickoff and punt returns. His Missouri Western Hall of Fame coach, Jerry Partridge, said, Jarrett Brooks, yes, he was the most explosive big play guy during his 4-year Griffin career and one of the greatest competitors he ever had at Missouri Western. As a wide receiver, you can certainly say Jarrett was consistent, as he made catches for some 807 yards in both the 2005 and 2006 seasons. Those achievements are 7th all-time for a single season, as is his 9 touchdown receptions during the 06 season. Brooks' 49 total receptions, averaging nearly 4.5 per game in 06, ranked tied for 9th and alone in 8th, respectively. Jarrett also excelled in the punt return game, ranking in the top 10 in several single-season categories. Brooks' 303 punt return yards in 05 and 238 yards in 06, ranking 3rd in and 9th all-time respectively. And Jarrett returned 23 punts in 06 and another 21 in 05, and is tied for 3rd and tied for 6th respectively for those efforts. Brooks consistently helped his teams with the field position battle in the kick return game. He occupies 3 of the top 10 spots in the single-season record book for kick return yards: 616 yards in 04, 537 yards in 06, and 522 yards in 05, or 5th, 8th, and 9th on the all-time list. I mentioned field position, and Jarrett's 7th ranked 28.26 average yards return in 06, and 8th ranked 28 yards per return in 04 really show that edge he provided his Griffin teams. For his career, Jarrett was one of the most versatile players to put on pads for the Griffins. He is ranked among the best ever in each of the 3 aspects of the game he competed. 1,675 career kickoff return yards is 2nd all-time. 541 punt return yards, that's 3rd all-time, folks. And 133 receptions are 4th all-time. With his 2,099 receiving yards and 21 touchdown receptions are both ranked 7th all-time, and nearly 3 catches a game is 10th all-time. The consistency and the high level of play JB produced on the field earned the notice and respect of MIAA coaches. He was named to the 2004 All-MIAA Honorable Mention team as a kick returner. He followed that up with 2 selections to the All-MIAA second team in 05 at both the wide receiver and kick returner positions. Finally, following his senior season in 06, he was again a 2-time All-MIAA selection, but this time to the first team at both wide receiver and kick returner. JB's explosiveness as a kick return specialist was recognized in 06 when he was named an honorable mention, D2Football.com All-American kick returner. In this, the 50th season of Griffin football, an all-decade team was named for each of the 5 decades for football played since that first season in 1970. Every position is recognized on each all-decade team as well as one position designated as an all-purpose player. This position went to a player in each decade whose contributions could not be captured by being named to just one position. JB, as he was known to his teammates, is such a player with 4,408 career all-purpose yards, which ranked 4th all-time, and is the 2000s decade all-purpose player. Jarrett graduated from Missouri Western in 08 with his degree in sports management. He is currently a business analyst for Nestle Purina Pet Care, where he has worked for 6 years. Jarrett and his wife Jackie have been married 6 years, and they're busy parents as well, with son Ronnie, age 14, daughters Kaylee, age 10, and Aubrey, age 6. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce to you 2019 Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Jarrett Brooks.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, before I start, I just wanted to give a moment of silence for a quarterback who lost his life, Matt Landers. I played with Matt for 1 year, so if we can just take about 10 seconds, say a little small prayer for him. He did lose his life a little over a month ago, so let's just give him his proper respect and acknowledgement for a second, please. Thank you. And just a little more on Matt. For those who don't know, Matt was a walk-on guy. He really burned his red shirt for us. He came against Pitt State when we really needed him. We were looking for a quarterback, and the guy, he really voluntarily stepped up, burnt his red shirt, and led us to my only victory against Pitt State. It was one of the best games I ever played in, and I just wanted to acknowledge him, man. He was a great guy, great man who lost his life way too soon. All right. So I want to thank everyone here at Missouri Western tonight. I want to thank the coaching staff, Coach Willie over there. You don't know, man, you mean a lot to me. You're a part of that staff that helped recruit this little skinny 135-pound kid out of St. Louis. You're a part of that staff, so I really appreciate that. He's the only one of the coaching staff here, but definitely Coach Partridge, Coach Smith, everyone along that time. Coach Bell, who really came in my junior year, my senior year, and he really taught me how to play the receiver game. Coming in, I was second team all conference, and he really broke me down, and he explained to me, you're a good football player, but if you want to be great, these are the things you have to do. And I really bought into that, and he helped me excel to first team all conference, so I definitely want to give him a special shout out as well. I have a couple of my teammates here that I want to give a shout out to. Joey, who is a fellow receiver with me. This guy was a beast. Like, if I didn't want to work out, he was the first one making sure that I was there at every workout, that I was on time, that I was catching the ball, that I was doing all the right things on and off the field. So I definitely want to give him a special thanks for what he's sitting over there today. Jake, you didn't finish the game, man. So I'm going to piggyback off what Jake said about the Washburn game. So he said he was chasing me from 30 yards. He didn't mention that we did win the game. It was in overtime. So, and I remember that game. It was a really special game because coming into that game, if Washburn would have won, they would have clinched the conference. And so we ended up beating them, and they still won the conference, but they ended up tying for conference. So that was a little nugget that we could throw in. So, and just a little more on that game. So I do remember. So it was in overtime. I caught a game-winning touchdown drive, but then a fellow Griffin over there, Greg Carbon, he sealed the deal with an interception in overtime. So it was, like I said, it was a very special game. You definitely should have finished that game off, man, and let everybody know we did win. So, but just on that, man, I definitely want to thank my family who was there over there tonight, my mom, my aunt, my grandma, my mother-in-law, just everyone that's over there, my daughter, my son, my sister, my niece, just everyone who made the trip from St. Louis. And just one more before I go, I got a special shout out to my cousin Julius and my brother Jermaine. Without them guys, man, I just remember just in the summer coming into our freshman year before we got up here, we were backpedaling. I think I'm playing corner, so Jermaine is pushing me. We're backpedaling up the street and on the tennis court because we did not have anywhere else to go. So, and for those who don't know Jermaine, he accepted a scholarship with me, and from day one, this was our goal. So not only am I here, he's here with me today as well. So I just want to give a special thanks to him as well. Because, like I said, without my teammates, man, JR, I see you over there as well, who, JR, we competed every day, man. He helped me push myself every day. So without them, I really would be nothing, man. So I just want to give a shout out to my guys. That's really who made me do it, man. I do everything for them. As every Griffin know, it's Mo West pride. We pray for the name on the front of our shirt. And I think everyone that walked through this door understands that pride that we have, and it's going to continue. So thank all the athletes up here, man. I know the fight that we all went through. We've been through it, and I wouldn't have done it with no other school, man. So I just want to thank everyone again for the opportunity, and everybody have a great day.
Congratulations, Jared, on your selection of the Missouri Western Athletics Hall of Fame. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this next Griffin great coming to the podium traded Missouri Tiger black and gold for Griffin black and gold, and we're glad she did. Tracy Jones decided to extend her tennis career here at Missouri Western beginning in the 1996-97 season. Her decision was our good fortune, as she quickly became the #1 singles player for Patsy Smith's Griffins. In her first season as a Griffin, the 96-97 season, Tracy logged a 13-2 record in singles play as the team's #1 player. In the MWSU championships, Jones played to a second-place finish in her singles competition, and in doubles play, #1 doubles team Tracy and her partner Jamie O'Brien went 10-3 on the season, and a third-place finish at the MWSU championships doubles competition. During the 97-98 season, Tracy played close to twice as many matches as the prior year, going 21-4 as the Griffins' #1 singles player. She repeated her second-place MIAA championship finish to close the year. At those MIAA championships, Tracy and her #1 doubles partner, Kara Thacker, played to a second-place finish. Jones' high-level play, along with that of her teammates during the 97-98 season, propelled the Griffin tennis team into the NCAA regional tournament for the first and only time in program history. In Tracy's final season of play at Missouri Western, she earned a third-place finish in singles play at the MIAA championships. In doubles play at the MIAA championship, Tracy and her partner Kara Thacker brought home a second-place finish. During the season, Tracy played in the prestigious Rolex Invitational to a top 25% finish. During Tracy's 3 years as a Griffin, she earned all MIAA honors each year. Jones was twice a second-team player following both the 96-97 and 97-98 seasons, and for her play during the 98-99 season, Tracy was again an all-MIAA player, this time the third team. Tracy earned 2 degrees while at Missouri Western. In June of 2001, she received an Associate of Applied Science and Physical Therapist Assistant, and then a month later was awarded her BS in Health and Exercise Science. Tracy took the student part of student athlete just as seriously as the athlete part. She was twice named to the MIAA Commissioner's Honor Roll for her performance in the classroom. After short stints as an assistant coach and head coach for Griffin Tennis, Tracy settled into the career her degrees prepared her for. She has been a physical therapist assistant at Select Rehab LLC for 16 years. Jones has 2 children, Connor, 16, a high school junior, and Chloe, 15, a high school sophomore. And Tracy credits her dad, Bob, for much of her success on the court after he started her playing tennis at just the age of 10. Nothing is synonymous to Griffin Tennis as much as Tracy Jones, and ladies and gentlemen, tonight it is my pleasure to introduce you to her as a 2019 Hall of Fame inductee, Tracy Jones.
I did all that? Man, I didn't realize I did all that. Anyway, wow, this whole thing's been pretty exciting. From the call from Scott Graham on a Friday night, got home from work, taking the dogs out, you get that call, and you're like, oh, here comes somebody else calling you. Don't know who it is, and I knew that our tennis team was nominated, but it was for me, but hopefully in the next couple of years, maybe. So anyway, I got to give a huge thanks for Patsy Smith for nominating me and the Hall of Fame committee for voting for me. I want to thank my dad for the countless hours on the tennis courts since I was 10, and my mom for cheering me on also. Anyway, it was an honor for me to go back to college. I was a non-traditional student. I was 28 years old. And I ran into Patsy. She was working, and I was working at the courthouse. And she talked to me into coming back to college, and we got together, and she hooked me up with the schedule. I had college orientation. I had walking lab on a Saturday. I'm like, this is great. So anyway, I look back, a couple of my teammates were going to come, but they ended up being sick, so I got some memories that we were talking about. We liked our overnights, and we'd go find the food buffets, and, one of the girls, we played beauty shop, and she'd color and cut people's hair, and people get their nails done, so one of the tournaments we went to in Oklahoma, one of the girls forgot her tennis racket. And since I was the oldest one on the team, I was the one that had to take people out when they turned 21. So, and one last thing, one of the girls told me to say, Patsy being the motherly coach, she would always make us cookies on all our tennis outings. Okay, one of the hardest things in preparing for this was finding pictures, because back when I graduated, we didn't have no cell phones. So that was hard. And then you look at the yearbooks. You go to the, online to the archives for the library, and you look up old yearbooks. Well, they didn't have any tennis team pictures of it, how you're standing in front of the tennis net with you're all holding your rackets and you're smiling. There weren't any pictures like that. So anyway, what we came up with, Patsy did have some from a long time ago. So let's see. In conclusion, I want to thank Missouri Western for putting me in the Hall of Fame. It's been very exciting, and I know it makes me proud for my kids to see. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tracy, on your selection in the Missouri Western Athletics Hall of Fame. Jess, you ready?
I am.
I figured you would be. Our final individual inductee this evening, she won the hearts of Griffin women's basketball fans with her gritty, determined, and consistent high-level play. Jessica Cook Williams, night after night, did what great players do. She made the difficult look easy on her way to a record-breaking career. Jessica put a cap on an outstanding career with a stellar senior season. During the season, she put her name in the Missouri Western record books many times over. She scored 595 points. That's 22 points per game average, both good for best all-time in a single season. Cook's 139 made free throws is also best in a season all-time. Jess was a workhorse that season. She averaged over 36 minutes a game. That ranks second all-time, as does her 204 made field goals. She was an unselfish player. She dished out 107 assists to her teammates. That ranks 8th all-time. Cook's career achievements put her at or near the top of many important offensive categories here at Missouri Western. Jessica is number 1 in both points, pouring in 1,776 during her career, and made free throws, converting 394 of her 524 attempts, which ranks second all-time. Also ranking second are her 615 made field goals. A noteworthy aspect of Jessica's high-scoring totals is the way she accomplished it in the flow of play, as she also dished out 387 assists in her 4 years. That ranks third all-time here, ladies and gentlemen. Opposing coaches found Jessica as challenging to coach against, as we found her thrilling to watch. As a freshman, Cook's talent stood out as she earned MIAA Freshman of the Year. Then in 09-10, she earned All-MIAA Honorable Mention, then earned placement on the All-MIAA second team in 2010-11, and capped off her career as a first-team All-MIAA selection. Following the 2011-12 season, in addition to earning Daktronics All-South Central Region second-team distinction, Jess was named a WBCA Academic Honorable Mention All-American. Many in this room likely saw the shot that made Jessica the all-time leading scorer for Missouri Western women's basketball. It seemed only fitting the opportunity would present itself in front of her home fans. It was also pleasantly ironic that it would come in the form of a free throw. 4 years of cheering for Jessica had given us many chances to see the twisting, slicing, diving to the basket style that was her trademark, resulting in a trip to the free throw line. Only Jessica knows what was in her mind at that point, but it's not difficult to imagine looking at the basket. She saw the childhood hoop she shot at so many times growing up, and muscle memory kicked in. As they say, the rest is history. Jessica earned her degree in speech communication from Missouri Western. She then went overseas, enjoying a brief professional basketball career, culminating with a chance to be a part of a championship team in Finland. She now fills her days being a stay-at-home mom and remotely managing the social media of a youth sports organization. Jessica Cook, she became Jessica Williams 2 years ago when she and former Griffin football player Nick Williams were married. Nick, Jessica, and 10-month-old Charlotte Rose now reside in Grand Island, Nebraska. An introduction of Jessica would not be complete without a chance to meet her parents, Mother Mary and Father Mick, who supported Jessica in all her basketball pursuits. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight it's my pleasure to introduce to you 2019 Hall of Fame inductee Jessica Cook Williams.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I have 5 pages of a speech, so you're just going to have to, make yourself at home, because I'm going to try to get through all of it. I timed it at home, and it was 10 minutes, so it'll be good. It'll be good. Get a snack. Do we have snacks? First of all, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, Jerry and Linda Myers. Just real quick, my first visit here, we went to a tailgate, and I felt at home right from the get-go. And since then, you guys have just made me feel like a granddaughter of your guys, so thank you. It's been family ever since then, so thank you. Scott Graham, just for I know all of the hard work. Where are you, Scott? Oh, yeah, you're over there. I know all the hard work you put into this to get all of this organized, so just thank you for all of your hard work. And I know from our conversation on the phone, you said, 5 to 10 minute speech, and so I'm gonna try really hard to keep it under 20. So I think I see a stopwatch there, sorry. It's hard for me to believe that it's already been 7 years since I've walked this campus as a Missouri Western student athlete. It goes so fast. I thought I had it all figured out, as I'm sure a lot of the college athletes here now, you guys think you have it figured out. You don't have it figured out. All right? It almost makes me laugh to think of the life experiences I've had since that time. Some of these life experiences have been good, and some of them have been bad, all of which has shaped me into the person that I am today. I'm a big believer in following your dreams and doing your very best to achieve those dreams. What I've learned since being here at Missouri Western is that sometimes those dreams ebb and flow as your life goes on. In college, I dreamed of us winning a conference championship, even a national championship. I was going to do everything within my power to make that happen. It never happened. It was crushing. But along the way, en route to those big dreams I had for Missouri Western women's basketball, the work that went into trying to help the team achieve those dreams led to recognition I'm still not quite sure I deserved. I wasn't the fastest or the strongest or the most talented player, but what I could control was how hard I worked. When I look back, my memories of outcomes of games or specific plays don't stick out in my mind. I think about the joy I had running up and down the floor, playing the game I love in front of a community who loved the game too. And I'm going to add a community that may hate the refs more than any school in the conference. Jerry and Linda, I'm not going to say any names, but I think about the laughs in the locker rooms and sometimes the cries. I think about our long walks from the dorms to Looney at 5 a.m. during preseason. I think back to the bus rides, to G dropping off of us off at our dorms, each of us with a pizza box in our hands in the dead of winter. The friendships, the lessons learned from my teammates, how sports can make you feel on top of the world one day and humble you the next. Jill, Colleen, Callie, will you guys stand up for me? These are 3 of my teammates. No, stay standing. These 3 were my teammates while I was here at Missouri Western. I owe so much to these girls right here. Absolutely none of this is possible without the grit, the blood, the sweat, the tears that these girls put into the program too. None of it is possible. You guys were positive when it was so incredibly easy to be negative. Stay standing, it's okay. You guys were passionate. You guys were supportive. These aren't just my teammates, these are my friends. And I'm so beyond lucky to have played collegiate ball with them. They deserve recognition for everything they've put into this program as well. You're looking at true Griffins. And I couldn't be more proud to say that those are my teammates. Girls, thank you so much for all the memories and for always being there for me. I will love you guys until the end of time. Love you. Nobody can do it alone. There's always a support cast. The tip of the iceberg that you see is completely supported by what is underneath the water. I couldn't have asked for a better support cast, not just during college, but for my entire life. The tip of the iceberg that you see is a result of years upon years of shaping and chiseling. Sometimes the iceberg loses some of its pieces. The ocean can be rocky at times, and it would seem that the iceberg wouldn't stand a chance against the heat of the sun or the jagged, rocky edges of cliffs. But the base, what you don't see, is always there to keep that iceberg afloat and move it in the right direction. God, my family, friends, teammates, coaches, they make up that base for me. I always dreamed of having a family. I never thought I would look out quite as much as I did when I married the love of my life, Nick. He is the most supportive, caring, brutally honest, yet thoughtful man, and a huge piece of that iceberg that keeps me afloat. When I sway way overboard in one direction, he's there to get me back to neutral. I've told him that I wish I knew him in college so that he could calm me down before games, because that's kind of his role. He's like, just settle down, just breathe. He was telling me the whole time before I came up here, just breathe. But we both know that everything happens for a reason. Nick, thank you so much for your unwavering love and for being the rock of our family. We've been through so much, and I don't know what I'd do without you. We've got an amazing daughter who, unfortunately, it was her bedtime, so she had to leave. Charlotte, this girl is spunky and is the light of my life. When Nick and I talk about our hopes and dreams, a lot of them now revolve around our baby girl. I dream that my daughter finds something that she's passionate about and attacks it head on. I dream that she stays the path, takes leaps of faith, and lives her life boldly. This is earlier than I'm supposed to start crying. Sorry. I dream she finds her way to a university or community that embraces her the way that mine did, whether or not she plays sports. She won't remember this night, but I'm going to be sure to take lots of pictures because she definitely won't believe that her embarrassing dorky mom was actually inducted into the Hall of Fame. Next, I'd like to recognize my grandmother, who's here with us tonight. I have such fond memories of seeing my grandma and grandpa sitting in the stands at my basketball games in grade school and in high school. I'm one of 16 grandkids, so you can imagine how tired they must have been getting out to all of our activities. They made it happen. We used to have family gatherings at Grandma and Grandpa's, and I can remember being so excited to go play around the world with my uncles and cousins on her hoop out back. She still has that hoop out there, available to anyone who wants to try taking her on any game of horse, and she legit beat me one time. Like, I started out thinking, oh, I'm gonna take it easy, and then she started like beating me really bad, so I remember that. Grandma, thank you for helping to nurture my love of basketball and for keeping that hoop up and a basketball in your garage at all times. I love you. My parents. I almost can't put into words how much these two mean to me. One of my favorite memories of my parents during college was the one-time senior year when the team was preparing for that long, gruesome trip to Fort Hays. If any of you know how horrid that trip is, it's horrid. But I remember them talking to me before the game, and they said, Jess, listen, we're not going to be able to make the trip. And they were almost at every game, and I understood. You know, I got it, I get it. And so before the game and warm-ups, I just find myself scanning the crowd, just out of habit, just to see where they're sitting. And I think, oh, duh, they're not going to be at this game. And out of the corner of my eye, I see them sitting up in the stands. And that just goes to show how far they go to support me and to support their kids. They decided last minute to make the trip. Oh, that was when I was supposed to cry. I never understood how they could do that on a regular basis until I had a daughter of my own. And I discovered that I would do absolutely anything to make that little girl feel loved. Mom and Dad, you have made me feel so incredibly loved. Mom, you're always there to comfort me when I need it most. After a rough game, all I needed to do was get a hug from you and you wouldn't have to say a thing. You're always the loudest cheerer at my games, and definitely my emotional leader. We cry a lot. To this day, I know I can call you to talk about anything. Thank you for loving me with all of your heart, for showing me that you can be competitive and compassionate at the same time. I'm on page 4. Thank you for the sacrifices you've made in your lifetime for me without batting an eye. Thank you for showing me what it takes to give your all, overcome adversity, and see the best in people. You've prepared me through a lifetime of examples how to raise a daughter to believe that she can be whatever she wants to be if she works hard and doesn't pretend to be sick so she doesn't have to go to school. I love you higher than God can count. Dad. In February of 2015, we almost lost you to the same thing that took away your two brothers entirely way too soon. A quadruple bypass surgery has kept you here to walk me down the aisle to my husband, to rock my baby girl to sleep singing the lullaby that you sang to me, and now to witness this night. You went to all of my soccer games, volleyball games, choir concerts. As a kid, you supported me through it all, way before I had found my love of basketball. You supported me even though I know deep down you thought basketball may be a good fit. You never pushed me to do anything I didn't want to do. You let me lead. I found my way to basketball and you nurtured my passion with your own knowledge and truth. You taught me to make eye contact with my coaches. Don't complain and don't explain. You beat me every time in pig by using those stupid old school trick shots that no one does anymore. Then you'd let me win because the sun was going down and you were hungry. You went to the gym with me for hours after you got home from an 8 to 9 hour day at work and never said you were tired or you didn't want to. You nurtured this dream of mine with all of your heart, and for that I'm so incredibly grateful. This is a reflection of you as a coach, as a mentor, and as a father. I love you. I remember sitting in the audience for the first time at one of these Hall of Fame dinners. To be honest, my coaches made me go. Coaches, you made your players come, didn't you? Right? Tonight, you made them come. But it was at this Hall of Fame dinner that I saw such special people from all walks of life. They all had dreams and worked tirelessly to reach them. If you're sitting in the audience right now and you're a current student athlete, if you're a businessman or woman, if you're an educator or a coach, if you're retired and golf all the time, Dad, or you're just starting out in your career, what I'm about to say applies to you. One of my favorite basketball players, Steve Nash, was not supposed to be as special as he turned out to be. He was not supposed to be enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He fought, which is why he was one of my favorites. The little guy from Canada who graduated from Santa Clara University did big things at the highest level, and throughout his career was an 8-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, and even represented his country in the Olympics. Part of his speech at the Basketball Hall of Fame really hit home with me. And in closing, I'd like to share these words with you. Yes, everyone take a sigh of relief in closing. Find something you love to do. Do it every day. Be obsessed. Balance can come later. Use your imagination. Put pen to paper. Declare your intentions. Set small goals, knock them off. Set more goals. Gain momentum, build confidence, grow a deep belief, outwork people. Play the long game. You don't have to be the chosen one. The secret is to build a resolve and spirit to enjoy the plateaus. The times when it doesn't feel like you're improving and you question why you're doing this. If you're patient, the plateaus will become springboards. Never stop striving, reaching for your goals until you get there. But the truth is, even when you get here, standing on this stage, it's the striving, fighting, pushing yourself to the limit every day that you'll miss and you'll long for. You'll never be more alive than when you give something everything that you have. Thank you, God bless, and go Griffs.
Congratulations, Jessica, on your selection of the Missouri Western Athletics Hall of Fame. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our last inductees, they won 26 basketball games, the most in school history, on their way to the MIAA regular season and postseason tournament championships. This 1994-95 Griffin men's basketball team distinguished themselves as one of the best ever for Missouri Western, reaching a number 4 NCAA Division II ranking during the season. This team thrilled fans every night out, and I certainly remember a lot of those thrilling moments. Their 26-5 season record was built in part by the 13-3 MIAA conference record on the way to the regular season conference championship. The team had a consistency many coaches only wished for. 5 players started every game that season. The bench was strong and deep with the 6th man, an All-American player himself. The depth of the bench was a key to this team's success, as each young man here tonight played meaningful minutes. When your name is called, please come up and stand, forming a line in front of the podium, and remain until all team members have been introduced. We start with Troy Goodnight, who wore number 3, and was a 6'3" junior guard on the team. He started all 31 games for the Griffins. Troy averaged 8.2 points per game, scoring 255 points on the season. Troy also contributed a steal, 2 rebounds per game. Troy currently is a heavy equipment operator and has worked for the Louisville Metro Public Works for 21 years. He has 2 children, son Kobe and daughter Tori. Congratulations, Troy. Lamont Thomas was an important piece of the puzzle on this Griffin championship team. The 5'7" senior guard wore number 4. Lamont also started all 31 games, averaging 8 points, totaling 259 points on the season. From his guard spot, Lamont also dished out 97 assists on the year. That's 3 per game, and his quick hands generated 46 steals. Lamont was named the MIAA All-Conference Honorable Mention team. Lamont is engaged to Billy Joe James and the father of 3, Latrice, Jadise, and Lamia. He is a supervisor at Sandridge Foods, where he has worked for 6 years. Congratulations, Lamont. Darrell Wright was clearly a mainstay on this championship basketball team. He was a 6-foot junior guard wearing number 10. Darrell saw action in all 31 games on the season, averaging 23 points per game, finishing the year with 699 points. Both of those totals led the team for the season. For his efforts, Darrell was named a first-team All-MIAA selection, an NABC All-District second team, and the COSIDA All-South Central Region second team. Darrell was also named to the NABC All-American third team and Bulletin All-American Honorable Mention team. In 2014, Darrell was inducted in the Missouri Western Hall of Fame. Darrell is married with 5 children and shares his basketball expertise with the area youth through his business, game time training, as well as summer camps for boys and girls. Congratulations to Darrell. Toby Hoggett wore number 22 and was a 6-foot sophomore guard on that team. Toby hails from right here in St. Joseph, Missouri, and played 23 games, averaging just under 10 minutes per game. His 84 points on the year is an average of 3.7 points per game. Toby hit 27 of his 43 field goal attempts. That's good for a 60% shooting clip. Toby's manager was Cintas Fire Protection, where he's been employed for 17 years. He is married to Christy and has 2 daughters, Emerson and Kennedy. Congratulations, Toby. Mr. Will Kendrick wore number 25 and was a 6'5" senior forward for the Griffins. Will started all 31 games that season and averaged 22 minutes per game. His 247 points on the season is an average of 8 points per game, and he got those points shooting at a 54% clip, making 100 of his 185 field goals he attempted. Kendrick also pulled down 192 rebounds, which is an average of 6 per game. Will is a cook for the University of Rochester, and with girlfriend Ariana Dupree is raising 2 boys and 2 girls. Congratulations, Will. Mr. Vonzel McGrew wore number 30 and was a 6'5" senior forward on this Griffin championship team. Vaughn was another one of the 5 players who started all 31 games while averaging nearly 33 minutes per night. McGrew was an imposing inside presence, pulling down 8 rebounds per game while amassing 249 boards on the season. He created havoc for opposing teams' offenses, blocking 132 shots. Vonzel also clogged up the passing lane as he recorded 49 steals for 1.58 points per game. McGrew was also named MIAA Player of the Week, and at the conclusion of the year, earned all MIAA second team. Congratulations to Vonzel. Another team member not here with us tonight is Nathan Snook. He was a 6'3" sophomore forward who averaged 8 minutes per game while wearing number 32. Coming off the bench, he averaged 2 points per game and shot 50% from the field. Nathan is Vice President of Operations for Midwest Transport. He's been with Emily West for 8 years and has 2 stepchildren, Nate and Alden West. Congratulations to Nathan. Scotty Washington also not here with us this evening. He was a 6'3" senior forward on that Griffin team. Washington played in all 31 games, averaging just over 20 minutes per night. In those 20 minutes, he scored 188 points. He also pulled down 169 rebounds. Congratulations to Scotty. Dwayne Mitchell was a 6'3" senior forward wearing number 34 for the Griffins that season. In his 13 minutes per game, coming off the bench, he contributed 5.6 points, along with 2 rebounds and 1 assist. He's married to his high school sweetheart, Audrey, and they have 2 sons. D'Angelo is a sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps, and Christopher is a sergeant in the U.S. Air Force. Dwayne is a process technician for the Hellerman Titan Company. Congratulations, Dwayne. Mr. Joanne Cobb was another one of the real stars on this team. Joanne wore number 40 and was a 6'5" junior forward who started all 31 games. Joanne's 597 points works out to an average of just under 20 per night. He was an extremely versatile player who did a little bit of everything. In addition to his prolific scoring, Joanne cleaned up 153 rebounds on the season. He also dished out 96 assists, that's good for 3 per game, with 67 steals, just over 2 per game. Cobb was solid at the free throw line as well, converting on 106 of 136 attempts for a team-leading 77.9% average. Duran's play didn't go unnoticed by conference coaches as he garnered all MIAA Player of the Week for January 9th. Duran also picked up postseason All-MIAA second team honors, and following his career at Missouri Western, he played professionally overseas. Duran and Kesia have been married for 22 years, and he's the proud father of sons Jashawn, Jarek, and Jalen, and daughter Kelsey. Yes. He is also the grandfather of 2 grandchildren. Duran owns Loving Kindness Transportation, LLC. Congratulations, Duran. Mr. Andre Crittenden was the tallest player on a team with several big men. The young 6'6" sophomore forward from right here in St. Joe Central High School wore number 42 for his hometown Griffins that season. Andre played in 29 games, averaging over 11 minutes per game. He used his minutes to score 88 points. He also pulled down 79 rebounds. Andre got engaged to his fiancée, Katie Lowe, this past summer and works for Veterans United Home Loans as the underwriting manager, site manager for the Dallas division. Congratulations to Andre. Coach O's here with us tonight. Brian Osterman was an assistant coach at Missouri Western from 1992 to 96. This included his work with the exciting 94-95 Griffin Championship team. Some of what Coach O learned, he took to his future coaching assignments, which has spanned 28 years. 9 of those seasons have been as a head coach. Brian is currently in his 5th season as the Kansas State women's basketball program's assistant coach, where he's the associate head coach. He joined Missouri Western Hall of Fame coach Jeff Mitty in Manhattan after their successful 6-season collaboration together at TCU. Coach Osterman and his wife Julie have 4 children, Robbie, John, Allie, and Emily. Congratulations to Coach O. Coach O, I'm also digging your blazer this evening. Looks good, my friend. And last but certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Smith, the Missouri basketball legend, was inducted into the Missouri Western Athletics Hall of Fame in 2006. That was not his first Hall of Fame induction, though. That came in 2004 by the Missouri Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame. Nor was it his last, as his play at Valparaiso was recognized in 2012, and contributions to basketball were recognized in 2014 by the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Coach Smith, already a successful MIAA head coach from his days at rival UCM, was in his 7th season leading Griffin men's basketball that year. Tom coached 26 of his Missouri Western record, 448 wins that season, and when his career concluded, Coach Smith coached 534 MIAA wins. That's good for second all-time. He also logged 618 NCAA career wins, one of only just 100 coaches to ever do so. Tom is married to Patsy, longtime Missouri Western Athletics administrator and class of 2017 Missouri Western Hall of Fame inductee herself. Congratulations to Coach Smith. Coach Smith, I'm guessing you'd like to accept this honor on behalf of this team. Come on up here.
Just to start, by looking at this group, you understand why I've got my name tattooed on the court out there. I'm sorry. I should. Yeah, right. Huh? All right.
Okay, gentlemen, here we go. Thank you.
That's not really true. I was being unfair. Actually, Troy started for us. He was on the starting team, and I let him play 2 minutes until I put Darryl Wright in, who was an All-American, took Troy out. But Troy actually got as many minutes. Jessica, you almost made me cry. Kara, you almost made me cry. You made your coach cry. You made your coach tear up over there, Michael. And these guys made me cry so damn much I can't remember. The nice thing about it is I'm in a position where I can now say what I want because, as I said before, I have the court named after me, and Josh finally painted it on there. I made sure it was real paint just to make sure they couldn't take it off. But President Wilson, I'm so happy to have you. I made it through 3 other presidents, and maybe could have made it through with you. I love your idea about the Gold Friday, but I want you to know that these guys were way ahead of you because they had gold. No, seriously, no, hold it. They had, these guys had Gold Friday started 25 years ago. The problem is they started it on Monday. Just a few things. One, I won't take 20 minutes either, okay. To all the coaches here in the room that are coaching here now, okay, thank you for coming, because that's a really nice gesture. I know that you are busy. I know you have pressures things do, and for you to take the time to be here for other coaches, nominees, and everything else, I think that's really, really nice. And all of you athletes up here, and I know most of you saw most of you play, a very, very, enjoyable thing. And for all the people here, sometimes we don't realize just how good these athletes are to play here, because we have a tendency to read the papers all the time, and it's all about Kansas and Nebraska and Missouri and everything else. And I will tell you something, and this is, I coached for 48 total years in college, and this basketball team that is in this room right now could have played with anybody in the Big Eight, anytime. And I don't say that braggingly or anything else. I just say it with total respect to this group of people. I want to thank Josh Looney. I've been retired for 5 years, and when he showed up, he had great respect for me and my program and for what had occurred before, and got some things done, and I certainly appreciate that. I want everybody in the room to acknowledge Coach Osterman one more time. Brian, stand up, please. Nobody does, Jess, I think, said it, and maybe a couple other athletes said it as well as I can possibly say it, but nobody does these things by themselves. And without Coach Osterman recruiting most of the players in this room, I would never have had the success I would have, nor would any coach that doesn't have good assistant coaches recruiting for him. Just a few things. I know, when you come to games, and you walk in Looney Complex, okay? Just a few things I want to point out. This team averaged 2,500 people for every home game. We had 2 crowds over 4,000. Okay, I'll tell you, I have to tell you just one story, and you already get the feeling from me. I love every one of these kids, every one of these young men, old men actually now, but I'm sorry. I love every one of them, but I think we played Northwest Missouri in the first round of the MIAA tournament when the tournament was played in home sites, and we played at our place, and it was jam-packed, Looney jam-packed. I couldn't walk. My office was down on the first floor. I could hardly get out of my office to get even to the locker room. And when I got there, Coach Osterman said, and this is probably maybe 35 minutes before the game's going to start, Coach Osterman says, we have 5 players that aren't here. And I said, well, you have any idea where they might be? Maybe they forgot. I wasn't sure really, but and so I'll turn this back. Those of you that have been around long enough know Coach Tapmeyer was at Northwest Missouri at the time. So he tells me this story later, okay? He says his team was walking out onto the floor when the 5 guys walk in with McDonald's bags for their pregame meal a half hour before the game's going to start. Now, let me tell you who was highly to interfere with that. I mean, if they had won 24 games up to that point, and I don't think I was going to interfere with them a whole lot, but it was kind of interesting. But Coach Tapmeyer tells a story that they warm up, they go back to their locker room, and he tells his team, he says, did you see those guys walking in? And yeah, Coach, we did. They're not ready. They want no part of this game. This is the perfect time. And we had beaten them by 5 up at Northwest like 2 weeks before that. But see, they want no part of the game. It's a perfect chance for us. This is it. We're going to, we can do it. Okay, our guys get dressed. They go out. They warm up. Final score, we win 112-84. and Taps told me later, his kids were like, I think they were ready, Coach. I think they're ready. In my 25 years, probably the most talented group of players that I was ever fortunate enough to coach. To all the people on the committee, thank you very much for inducting this team. I don't think without any question they're one of the greatest teams ever to play here. Those of you that were lucky enough to see them play, I know you had to totally enjoy it. I do want to go back to saying that in this community, we are very fortunate because you have some really, really good athletes. And we have this tendency to think, Missouri Western's Division II, it's not quite the same. It is. There are many, many of these young people up here right now that could have played at many places and certainly at different levels of basketball, baseball, tennis, everything else. And we're very, very happy and we're very privileged to have had these young people play for us at Missouri Western. For the 1994-95 basketball team, I thank you. I know they thank you. I cannot tell you how much it is. It's so rewarding not to win 620 games or 618 games. What's really rewarding is when they come back and they put their arms around you and they hug you and they say, I love you. That's what's really important.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2019 Hall of Fame inductees, the 94-95 Griffin men's basketball team. Ladies and gentlemen, you've met the Missouri Western State University Hall of Fame class of 2019 inductees. One more time as your name is called. Please stand and remain standing until all inductees have been named. Mr. Reggie Alexander. Mr. Jared Brooks, Tracy Jones, Kara Unger-Razonki, Tara Roth, Michael Schultz, Jessica Cook-Williams, and the 1994-95 men's basketball team. You may be seated. I'd like to remind the inductees of a couple of things. Kickoff tomorrow, the football game's at 1 p.m. Our Hall of Fame ring induction ceremony takes place at halftime. All inductees, both individuals and team members, are requested to come on down to the field level with 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. I think all of our photos are done, but make sure you take your posters with you this evening. Those frame posters are yours. Feel free to take as many pictures as you like. This was my last act as MC, and before we wrap it up this evening, I'd like to bring up our Gold Coat president at the podium, Mr. Zach Workman. Zach, come on up.
First of all, welcome, everyone. I came prepared. I brought my glasses just in case, and I made bold type. I learned that a long time ago, come totally prepared for everything. I just want to thank everyone, first of all, and congratulate all those who are now in the Hall of Fame in 2019 class. It's always an honor to have them back and to be a part of that. And I think that some of the things that I think that's most pleasurable about being a part of the Gold Coat Club is I get a chance to represent it. But I've also found through my terms is that anyone who is a member of the Gold Coat Club or anyone who gives or donates to the athletic department, they too are a part of the Gold Coat Club. They represent it just as I do or anybody else does. And it's such an important club. It's been here since 1969. It's been something that has contributed money to make these experiences for our student athletes of today, as well as the student athletes of the past, to let them have great experiences. And that's really what we're after. We're after the opportunity to give them the very best so they will want to come back and be a part of something very special. Along that way with the student athletes, we also know you have to have great coaches. And I can say this without any hesitation. We have some of the greatest coaches and individual people who care about their athletes that any university could possibly have. And I will tell you, it's been led by Josh Looney. And I can appreciate what he's done, where he's headed, where our program is headed. But it's always fun to be around the athletes and see how much they accept their responsibilities. We had the pleasure this year to actually go back now and recognize 50 years of football. And for someone who was a part of that first class 50 years ago, I can tell you how fast that's gone. To the young athletes today, when you think you still have a year or 2 years, or I just started and it will last forever, I can tell you, take a blink, it'll be over. I challenge you to take as many pictures mentally as you possibly can, because you can't take enough of them, and they'll be gone before you know it. So as 50 years for me, and for many others who joined that classes, has gone by so fast, we're honored to be here today to share a few of these moments with you today. But it has gone very quickly. The celebration of the decade teams that we have been a part of, and I want to again congratulate Scott Graham, who has chaired that and done a phenomenal job for that. When this is all finished and all completed, we will have brought back somewhere around 700 former athletes and guests. And I will tell you to the T, the first thing they say is, I wonder why it took so long for me to come back. Or why didn't I do this earlier? Or can't wait till the next time. And I think that's an ongoing thing. We have a tendency to let life, and sometimes life does get in the way a little bit, but we all in the end recognize the importance of coming back and being a part of the story that we created. And if we can do those things on a regular basis and enjoy the time we have and share the great times we've been, then this family of the Griffin family becomes even bigger. And I will notice that from Coach Smith to his players, to everyone up here, it is a Griffin family. It's one who we share with each other at nights. I can remember when we had the 70th group come back, it was almost as if we just left the field yesterday. And we said, hey, I'll see you again tomorrow. Now tomorrow is 50 years later. That's how fast it all goes. So to young athletes, cherish the moments. And hopefully someday, your accolades will allow you to be a part of this group up here, because it is very special. They come here because of all things they have done, but a lot of it also, too, is the people that they are. And that is the foundation which we all work for, and that I'm sure you will, too. So I want to say thank you again for all that you have done and being a part of that. The one thing that I think has been very consistent through my years of experience of this, and anyone who has been involved at Missouri Western, the Gold Coat Club has always been there. Back in 1969 and 70, when we were playing the very first game, unbeknownst to us, there are already people out there who were given money, so our experience could be the best we could be. Today, 50 years later, that's grown tremendously, but so is our expectations. And so because the expectations are higher, it takes more. So for those of you who are a part of Missouri Western's Gold Coat now, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are so special to the success of this program. And to those of you who might consider, we will welcome you at your convenience and your time, when you feel it's right, to come and join us and be a part of our family. Because it's one that, just like you today, as we witness you, our family is getting bigger every year. And it's very special, and we really enjoy that. The last thing that I do want to say is a couple things. Jim Rohn, a great motivational speaker, he said one time in one of his speeches, if you'd have called my dad, and he's 93 years old, if you'd have called him tonight at 9 or 10 or 11, he wouldn't be home. He'd be at a ball game. He'd be at a choir practice. He would be at a rodeo. He would be somewhere because he didn't want to miss the it. So I challenge all of our young athletes and those people today, don't miss the it. Whatever it is for you that allows you to remember those moments or those days or those seconds, don't miss the it. Because it is who makes you, who makes it around you, who makes every day special. So my last comment is this. There is one individual who we've already been recognized for all the things he has done, the things he has given, and his leadership and all those things. But I've asked Scott Graham just quickly to please stand up for just a moment. He has led this organization for many years. He is loyal, he is trustworthy, he's a dear friend that I love like a brother. He not only did that at the same time, he's organizing the 50-year decade that's coming back, at which most times, at one point, I know he'd made over 2,000 phone calls just to try to get a hold of people, because that's how important the Griffin family is to him. But how it's important to all of us. And so to those up here, congratulations again for being part of our Griffin family. For all of you, thank you so much for coming back from Atlanta and all these various places to see something that's very special, to be a part of the Hall of Fame and Missouri Western family. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Zach. Well, I'm smart enough to know that I'm the thing that stands between you and continuing with the rest of your evening. And like Jessica, I started out with 5 pages. But when she spoke, I took 2 of them off. And then when Coach Smith spoke, I took 2 more off. So we're down to 1 page. We heard it said so many times by so many of our inductees this evening that nothing great happens because of an individual, it's a team effort. And with an event this large and that takes this much time, that is very true. It is truly a team effort. The first thing I'd like to do is ask those members of the Hall of Fame committee that are with us tonight to please stand up so that everybody can recognize you. The Hall of Fame year, if you will, starts right after this meeting and has some meetings, and we take a look at the fantastic student athletes that we've had, and this group here is testament to that. And we kind of winnow it down and we come up with our class, and that's due to a lot of hard work by the people that you just saw stand. I want to thank Nancy Black. Nancy, for years, has staffed our table out there and welcomed the people into the room, and we appreciate that, Nancy. I also... You can imagine the room doesn't set itself up, and we had numerous volunteers come and help get the room set up earlier today for our enjoyment this evening. Tom and Patsy Smith, Myron Unziker, Howard McCauley, Zach Workman, Jerry and Linda Myers, and Brett Easley. So thank you. I always say you can throw a party, but if the guests of honor don't come, it's not much of a party. And as I look out in the audience, not only did the guests of honor come, but they brought their cheering sections. And I thank all of you for coming, taking time from your day and your week to be here and join us and celebrate the successes of this fantastic group of people. I probably have the easiest job tonight getting up here behind the microphone. There was a lot of emotion and a lot of remembrance, and I just get to thank people, and that's pretty cool. And so I just want to, at this time, thank our ring sponsors. As you know, the individual inductees all get a ring, and those sponsors are Charlie and Patty Burry. Charlie is the very first member of the Go Coat Club, or of the Hall of Fame, also of the Go Coat Club. Zach mentioned how long it had been in existence, and Charlie started the Go Coat Club for the benefit of all of us who have been student athletes. Myself and my wife are contributors to the rings, and I'm class of 2005. George Hayward, a class of 2016, is a ring sponsor. Jerry and Linda Myers, class of 2001 for Jerry. Lyle and Freda Smith, just fantastic supporters of Griffin Athletics. I don't think you can go to a game and not see their smiling faces. Tom and Patsy Smith, ring sponsors this evening, class of 2006 and 2017 respectively. Myron and Connie, Myron is a 2009 class member, and Zach and Mary Workman, member class of 1991. Just a special thank you to these folks that provide the rings for the people up here. I'd like to revisit the table sponsors very briefly and thank them again. It's the financial support of all of our donors that makes an event like this possible, not just the work of the committee, but the financial support, and we truly appreciate it. When you're shopping for goods and services, think about these folks. They're good corporate citizens. They're good partners with us. The Missouri Western Alumni Association put on the reception next door prior to tonight's dinner, and we certainly appreciate their support. They've been longtime supporters of that event, and we certainly appreciate that. I'd like to thank Hy-Vee as well. Hy-Vee every year comes in here and decorates our stage and makes it a nice place for us to have this event, and we really appreciate that. And I don't think that the evening would be complete without one more round of applause for Rogers Pharmacy. Rogers stepped up and made what for a lot of us was a dream a reality, and we're going to have a physical dedicated space, as you've all heard. The last couple of thank yous this evening I want to extend to Josh Looney. Josh, what can you say? I mean, he has supported every harebrained idea we've come to him with to further the cause of alumni support, and added on to those harebrained ideas. And this 50th anniversary one was one where he embraced everything we brought to him almost and made them better. And Josh, we truly appreciate it. And my last thanks of the evening goes to Brett Easley. Brett's a fun guy to work with. He and I work pretty closely for a short period of time to pull all of this together. He keeps me straight. I don't know what I do for him, but together it works. And so, Brett, thank you very much. As Brett said, just one last reminder to you guys up here, guys and gals, please show up tomorrow about 5 minutes on the clock at that end of the stadium opposite the scoreboard, and we'll get ready to get you out and get your rings and have a ceremony at halftime. Thank you very much, and congratulations. And with that, you're excused.